that. Better? Is the volume good?
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome in for tonight's Berks County basketball action. And Berks County, indeed, it is. Doesn't get more Berks County than this. Reading High, Muhlenberg. This is one of the premier games, Jerry.
It's definitely one of the premier games, Ryan. There's no question about it. Especially after the way that first one went.
This is a Berks 1 showdown here tonight. Two of Berks County's storied programs renew their rivalry here this evening as the Reading Red Knights take on the Muhlenberg Muhls right here on the Muhls Sports Network. This is the second meeting of the season between these two squads. If the first time around was any indication, we are in for another treat here this evening. Reading enters tonight's contest trying to avenge a really tough loss from December the 12th when the Muhls stormed back from a 10-point halftime deficit to win 71-68 at the Geigel Complex. That game featured a 31-point third-quarter explosion from the Muhls, including a 15-0 run to open up the second half. For the Muhls, tonight is all about proving that that first win wasn't a fluke. The Muhls have been on a mission this season, just 3 losses to their credit. And head coach Matt Flowers has this program playing some of its best basketball in years. But let's first start with the Red Knights, a program that needs no introduction here in Berks County basketball circles, a franchise that has won a record 25 BCI AA championships, more than any other school in the county. And under head coach Rick Perez, Reading has captured 3 PIAA Class 6A state championships in 2017, 2021, and again 2 years later in 23. Perez holds the school record for wins with 281 victories over his 12 seasons at the helm. He's a 3-time PIAA Class 6A Coach of the Year. And oh, by the way, he resigned back in 2023 after that third state title. He spent the entire 2024-25 season as an assistant coach right across town here in Muhlenberg, working alongside his best friend Matt Flowers. But when head coach Francis Kamara stepped down in August of 25, Perez returned to lead the Red Knights once again. So tonight he faces the program where he spent a year on the bench and the head coach that he calls his best friend. This year's Reading team is young but still very talented. They've been on a streak as of late, improving the record to 12-6 coming into tonight. They do have several key sophomores gaining valuable experience, led by guard Justin Castro, who has emerged as the team's leading scorer, over 21 points per game for the sophomore guard, or for the 6'3 junior guard, I should say. Perez says that the junior guard has been maturing right in front of our eyes. So obviously they have DeCastro. He's the engine that makes this entire offense go. He showed his capabilities in the first meeting. He scored 21 against the Muhls, including 12 in the opening quarter. He has a great mid-range game to speak of, and he can finish at the rim. They also have senior point guard Wesley Rosario, who's the only senior in this starting lineup and provides some crucial veteran leadership. He's been averaging over 18 points per game, had 20 in that December meeting with Muhlenberg, scoring 14 in the first half before foul trouble started limiting him in the second. Keep an eye on sophomore guard Javen Merriweather. He's a 6'2" left-handed shooting guard, averaging nearly 15 points per game before missing some time. As father Brad played for Reading in the late 90s, continued at Alvernia. He was more of a forward at Alvernia, as you are when you're about, 6'5" or so, as dad is. He was a forward during the McCluskey years. They went to a NCAA Final Four around that time back in 96. I know some things about Alvernia, alma mater and all.
What did I just read about Alvernia recently?
I don't know. They're buying up everything on Penn Street. Was that it?
No, about Alvernia basketball.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't pull it out. Finish.
All right, will do. But Javen told reporters it's his dream to play here in Reading. Me playing here is a blessing. So we'll keep an eye on him. And then there's Cameron Bron Jones, a 6-foot sophomore, who has shown that he can run the point when needed. Coach Perez raves about Bron, saying that he is exceptional to the game. He just knows how to play. He had a career-high 10 points recently against Exeter. Loves getting those teammates involved as well. But now let's turn our attention to the Muhls, who come in at 10-3, 4-1 in divisional play. This is the team that missed the Berks County playoffs last season after losing 3 of their final 4 league games. It certainly does not seem to be the case here this year. We've seen a tremendous turnaround. Head coach Matt Flowers in his 5th season leading the Muhls. This might be his best team yet. They've already have a signature road win, a couple of them actually. They had the comeback victory against Reading that we talked about, an overtime thriller at Wilson just last week where they rallied down from 6 down with under 2 minutes to play. And that Wilson win was especially significant because it was Flowers' first victory at West Lawn in his first 5 seasons. Tells you about something about how tough this division is and how much Muhlenberg has grown this year. Coach Flowers emphasized togetherness and perseverance with this group. He said down 6 in that gym. Normally this game is over, but they persevered. They stuck together. The resilience has been the hallmark of this season. Star of the show for the Muhls is without a doubt junior guard Eli Hemmings. 6'4" guard is averaging 17.5 from the field, up significantly from last year. His shooting has improved tremendously, and he has been more aggressive attacking the basket. We'll see how he does this evening. Every time that I seem to call him, he's hit or miss. Struggle from the free throw line a couple of games in a row. We'll see if he's finally gotten over that bugaboo as well. But Hemmings was sensational in the first time that these two teams met. 25 points, 13 in that explosive third quarter that they scored 31. He's the one that keyed that comeback. And he said after that game, Coach Flowers said that if we have 16 minutes, it's up to us if we're going to win that game. And everything just snapped. His running mate is junior guard, the good old Justin Armstrong. He's averaging about 19 points per game. Hemmings and Armstrong have been teammates since 5th grade. He's been their running mate. They've been running mates together since 5th grade. They know how each other play. They love each other to death. And then you also have Nelson Coco Malave, who transferred from Reading to Muhlenberg. He had 15 points against his former team, including a crucial layup with 46 seconds left that helped seal the deal. Hemmings said about him, I tell him every day I'm so happy he came to the Muhls. As they start announcing the starting lineup here. Head coach, the football team, and Matt Flowers' brother Rob up here getting the crowd rowdy ahead of time. But revisiting that meeting on December the 12th, because it sets up tonight perfectly. Reading led 40-30 at the break. They were playing excellent basketball on both ends, and then the fire alarm went off in the gym with 3:31 left in the second quarter. A brief intermission that nobody expected. So between that break and halftime, whatever Flowers said at halftime worked for the Muhls. They came out, outscored Reading 31-15 in the third. 15-0 run to start the half, completely flipped the script on the game. Castro and Rosario both had 3 fouls at the break for Reading, and foul trouble was a factor down the stretch, and we'll see if the Muhls decide to make that a key portion of tonight's game as well. So part of the key for tonight for the Red Knights is staying out of foul trouble and winning that third quarter battle. They've struggled in third quarters at times this season. Obviously, we'll see how we start out the second half this evening. But for the Muhls, continuing to play together, executing in the half court and winning the free throw battle. They were 20 of 30 from the line in that first meeting. You know, getting to the line, making those freebies, that is such a big part of what they need to do to be successful. We've seen what happens when they're not successful doing it, and certainly hope that that is not the case here this evening on their home court. But obviously you got Rick Perez, Matt Flowers, best friends going up against each other. Perez, again, spending a year on Flowers' staff. Jaden Perez still over here with the Muhls. There's Justin Armstrong, preferring to go by LJ these days. But he'll get things started here, as will Eli Hemmings. Nelson Malave facing off against his old team. He's all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Mikey Miller You got Jeffrey Collado. It's Armstrong, Hevings, Malave, Miller, and Collado to start. The Mules will be in their home white jerseys, navy numbers, yellow trim. Red Knights will be in their road black jerseys with the red numbers and white trim. We'll take a quick break here for the national anthem, and when we return, what you've been waiting for, the Mules taking on the Red Knights right here on the Mule Sports Network. Already some chatter out there. There was some chatter seemingly between maybe some of the coaches, some of the team during all of that. There was one guy over there who was very annoyed at all the chatter during the national anthem.
What was your indication of that?
I mean, I stand at attention and take my hat off.
You're a proper patriot.
Lots of birds here this evening, too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that. Lots of birds indoors. Birds flying all over the place between these two teams. Between the home crowd over here to our right and the visiting crowd to our left.
One-winged variety.
Something like that. DeCastro taking the jump for the Red Knights. And he'll go against Hemmings. DeCastro wins the opening tip, nearly stolen away by Armstrong, and we are underway. Jameer Jacob out there. He'll get a touchdown low, looking for room along the baseline, and we're going to have an offensive foul called on Jacob. Collado draws the personal, and it's a turnover for the Red Knights. Cameron Jones also out there in the starting lineup for the Red Knights, as well as Wesley Rosario. He'll be picking up former teammate Nelson Malave right here around midcourt. LJ going against Cam Jones. Mikey Miller lining up a deep three, and he gets it to drop. That one in and out. Hemmings grabs the board. Off we go. Miller ahead. Miller, big Euro step in the lane. The floater's good. Three on the way. Answer back from Rosario. Well, here we go, folks. No wasted time here. Armstrong in amongst the trees, has it knocked away into the corner. Hemmings, left pocket three. That one too strong. They'll move it ahead. Pull-up jumper. That one's short. Ball still loose. Collado goes to the floor trying to get another big Euro step. Left-handed attempt, no good. That one goes off of Mikey Miller out of bounds. Whew. Well then, can finally take a bit of a breather here. Portalatin also out there as a starter. That time a big three. 6-5, a pull-up jumper here by Malave silences the crowd. And we're going to have nearly a turnover. Mikey Miller getting right in the Reading's bench, right in their faces, knocking it away. It'll be full court pressure here. Into the back to Jones. Jones and Malave will be linked up together here to start. And we're going to have some chatter down here between Mikey Miller. We're going to have offsetting fouls here, as Mikey Miller called for a personal, and as is Wesley Rosario. 2 fouls, 1 on each team. Possession stays with the Red Knights. Jones will take it out of bounds first. Dumps it into DeCastro. Team's coming out here. High flying to start. That one, floater along the baseline is good. Portalatin in for 2. Armstrong leaves it short on the doorstep. Jones driving to his left, wave it off. We're going to have a foul on the floor, and I don't think that the foul was on Jones. Jones has to be pulled away afterwards. And now he wants to yell at the referees, and he still has to be held back. Foul's going to be on Miller on the floor. That'll be his second already. Collado driven out, 3, short, reading the board. DeCastro back in, and we're going to have this waved off for a travel. Second Reading turnover. Very Hardy, you can't do that from the home crowd. Miller lining up another triple. Miller with 8 of the Muhls' 10 points so far, as Armstrong playing free safety comes all the way back, nearly takes it away. Up top to Jones. A little bit more methodical here in the half court. This is probably the longest possession that we've seen either side have in the first 4 minutes. Jones, a deep 3. And we're going to have a foul here on the floor, I believe, on Armstrong. Red Knights will make a quick sub here, as Jameer Jacob will take a rest. Fresh into the game is Merriweather, who hits the pocket 3. 1 point lead stolen away here. Muhls have been cautious in the first 4 minutes, turn it over for the first time. Collado being forced to guard out by the three-point line, ends up picking it off, and off the backboard to Hemmings. That'll get this crowd going. Deep three by Merriweather answers back. Whew. Gonna have a foul down here at the other end. Just soak it in, folks. Foul is going to be on Merriweather. That'll be his first. Team's third. 2-point advantage for Reading. They'll try to get it into Collado. That one's picked off. Trying to go coast to coast, and doing so is DeCastro, his first bucket. Now a 4-point lead. Talk about that 31-point third quarter that the Muhls had the last time that they met. Reading pretty much on pace for that here in the first. Malave, Jones locked on him. Tries to shake him down, pulls up, three, too strong, into the corner. Collado going to the deck. And I think that we're going to have a foul on Collado. We have Merriweather getting pulled out of a dog pile there, aggressively by his own teammate. Reading basketball. The Muhls fans over here to my right are not sitting down, and we're going to have a foul here on Mikey Miller. That'll be his third. You're getting the best of Mikey Miller, and unfortunately, the worst of Mikey Miller right now as well, as Ryan Hutchinson will need to replace him as Miller picks up 3 fouls in the first 4:58. And Matt Flowers needs to readjust here. Team down by 4. And Mikey Miller now needing to sit for the foreseeable future. Heck of a first 5 minutes here, Jer.
Yeah, it was. Running gun, end to end. What do you want to call it?
Run and shoot. That's an offense. It's the Mike D'Antoni offense that everyone's running these days. It's the 10 seconds or less offense. If you're not shooting within 10 seconds, you're doing something wrong in a Mike D'Antoni offense. We're somewhere. We're going down the court. We score, come back the other way. I'm not going to wait for the half-court set. I'm just going to shoot a 3. And back we go. It's been a heck of a first 5 minutes here.
Indeed.
Everyone's getting their money's worth. Reading fans with the last laugh so far, leading by 4. Castro and Jones will hand it back and forth. Jones will bark out order, standing over top of the M. Collado not close enough to start triggering the 5 seconds. Left corner 3 again by Merriweather. That one should be a dead ball, and it will. Goes up high, hits the ribbon. Be Muhls basketball. Jaden Perez will step in, as will Josh Miller. Hemmings will walk it up. They'll try to trap up top here. So Reading coming out in a slightly different look, and Perez will try to pick it apart. Turnaround jumper from the stripe won't do it. And we're going to have a jump ball. That's actually a really good call. That's a fantastic call by the ref. Grabbed all ball, player slips, no foul. Both players have possession.
Was the call itself emphatic enough for you?
This time around, sure.
Okay.
Third Reading turnover in the early goings. Perez loses the handle on it immediately. He'll try to set himself down as an anchor. Picks that one off. Look what I found. Hemmings ahead, 3-on-1. Drops it to Hutchinson. Hutchinson fouled by Jones. To the stripe he goes. Well, that was one of those fouls that, like my dad always used to say when he was coaching me, you're going to foul and make it worth it. Make sure he doesn't score. I think was the exact rule that he gave me. Stops the clock with 1:58 remaining here in the first. Things have slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, they did.
For fear of the announcer's curse. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. I was going to say 100% free throw shooter. Coming in here, I'm pretty sure that he's just 2 for 2. Don't worry. That's at least what they have here on PAD3 hoops. I don't think that they have all of his free throw attempts listed there. Hutchinson misses both. Lead will stay 4. And yeah, these teams coming out hot and heavy here in the start as a 3 lined up again by DeCastro. That is the 5th three-pointer of the first quarter here for the Red Knights. Hot shooting to start. Perez doubled. He'll swing it all the way out to Hemmings. Hemmings, a long-distance 3. Might have been just a little outside the range there. That was by far an NBA range 3. DeCastro probing. Looking over to Rick Perez for some guidance. Almost looks like Reading's ready to just play for one. And wow, what a pass. What a finish. Unreal. Cam Jones just picking out Tajay Slaughter. The foul will be on Caleb Perez. That'll be his first. Man, oh man. Clanged off back iron. Lead at its largest at 9 as the Mules have cooled off here. Malave has it swatted away. So he just kind of stumbled into the lane and tried to scoop it up to get something on it. Rosario will check back in. Second unit here for the Mules. Struggling here in their first minutes. And we're going to have a foul here on the floor. We're going to have some more chatter out here on the court. As once again, Jones getting into some faces, shaking his head like he's not. I see you. Trying to figure out who's going to the line here. I believe it's Malave. Malave, again, the Reading transfer, averaging just under 12 points per game. Just a 41.2% free throw shooter. Hits the first. Perez will take a seat. Collado back in. Leaves that one short. They'll swing it down low. They have a man open. Left-handed layup is good down on the low block. It's Jameer Jacob, welcome to the party. That makes the 6th Red Knight in the scoring column here in the first quarter. They lead by 10, their largest. Hemmings with Jones on him. Has it poked away. Picks it back up. 18 seconds left here in the first. Malave, double team, needs to go somewhere with it. And we're going to have a timeout taken here by Matt Flowers. It'll be a 30-second timeout as Flowers looks to regroup here. And it's a good timeout. 14.1 seconds remaining here in the first. Down by 10. Let's get a good possession out of this. Try to close the gap, make it single digits going into the second.
Last break we talked about how fast everything was. We cursed. Slowed down considerably.
Trying to take a look back here at the last Muhls bucket. Matt, last Muhls bucket from the field came almost 4 minutes ago, about half a quarter. They led 12-11, and since then it's been a 12-1 run by Reading. An 11-point swing over the last 3:45 or so. Malave will work against Merriweather. 5 seconds left. Looking for a screen from Perez. Shakes off the screen. Step back. Three. In. Out. And that'll do it for the first. The Muhls have some work to do. Down by 10 here after one. We will take a quick break and be right back. Right here on the Muhls Sports Network.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
After that uplifting commercial, thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome.
PSA for...
These are important things.
It's very similar to when I was calling on the radio in Lebanon County for the AM station over there.
Yep.
I'll name drop them. Big Wil. Well, no, I think they're just Wilbur. Or maybe they went back to WLBR. I don't know.
Like W, who are you?
But every time I called a Northern Lebanon game, it was always funeral homes that were the sponsors.
Dude, uplifting.
And it's always like floral music with like harps and stuff in the background. It's really unnerving in the middle of a basketball broadcast.
Yeah, it is.
Back underway here. Reading starting with possession. Jones to his left. Floater won't go. Ball loose in the air, and we're going to have an offensive foul here on the loose ball. Foul will be on Portalatin. That'll be his first. Jacob with one, Rosario with one, Merriweather with one, DeCastro with two in the foul count. Mikey Miller back in alongside Josh Miller as well. Armstrong, Malave. Mikey Miller from the corner. That one short. Going after it. Gets his own miss. Into the corner for Hemmings. Hemmings a three. That one too strong. Going after his own miss again. Second miss. And that one tipped out of bounds by Jones. That's an excellent job by Mikey Miller going and look. I just came from teaching 7 and 8-year-old basketball, right? And I'm telling my daughter and I'm telling all the girls out there, I'm like, go after your miss. You miss a shot, it's okay, but go get the rebound. You want to shoot more, go get some rebounds. Excellent job by Mikey Miller playing with his hair on fire.
Show him this video.
Show him this video. We're going to have a foul along the baseline here, and it's going to be on Malave. Malave, that'll be his first. He'll join Mikey Miller and Caleb Perez. Sorry, not Caleb Perez. Ryan Hutchinson. I accidentally marked Caleb Perez is in here. That left-handed attempt won't go. Put-back attempt also won't go. Second offensive board here for the Red Knights, too. Instead, Jacob, straight ahead three, won't do it. Malave passes it back into the Red Knights. Backward shot this time. We're going to have a foul. I'm pretty sure that Porter Latin shot that one facing backwards, basically. Watch that one on the broadcast again. So I'm just watching the replay here, and yeah, he just kind of like tosses it up behind and draws the foul. Porter Latin to the stripe, hits the first. Handful of changes being made. Miller will sit. Collado back in for the Muhls. Reading coming in averaging pretty much this. They're averaging a, net margin of victory about 9.5 points. Muhlenberg averaging about 9.8, by the way. Porter Latin hits both. He now has 4. Trailing just Berks Catholic here in Berks 1, who's winning by an average of 14.5. Armstrong probing to Miller. Miller a 3. That one off to the left. I could see that one off the release. 12-point advantage here. Muhls once again still without a bucket since 4:02 left in the first. Dump it off left baseline. Once again, kind of a backward shot. Collado will grab the miss. Not much doing in transition as Armstrong lines one up. That one's short. 3v2 the other way. Looking baseline, and they'll find him. It was a nice find. Merriweather to Porter Latin. And it's now a 14-point lead. 27-13. Miller thinking 3. Moving this basketball quickly. Malave sets up for 3. Malave finally stops the bleeding. His second bucket give him 6. And that was about 6 minutes of game time. That the Muhls were held without a bucket and finally getting back on the board here. It was 12-11, so since then it's been a 16-4 run by the Red Knights, including a 12-1 run to end the first. Sorry. Miller driving in, called for the offensive foul. Josh Miller trying to be aggressive there, ends up picking up the personal. Driving, and I think that we're going to have a travel. Sure are. DeCastro, pivot foot slipped that time. Too many steps. Muhls crowd slowly getting back into it. That one picked off. Armstrong's pass going astray that time. In transition come the Red Knights. Hemmings will be called for the personal that time. Got him on his feet. They'll send DeCastro to the stripe. DeCastro, about a 75% free throw shooter, and averaging 21.1 points. Shooting about 8 points better than last season. A little bit worse from the line, but he's getting there more often to the tune of about one more trip. His first trip this evening, and he's good on the first. Had a career-high 10 free throw attempts back on the 26th of January, just about 2 weeks ago. Second one will land short. Jaden Perez has also checked in here. Hemmings down low. That one short by Malave. It was a nice find by Hemmings. It was the right move. Got Hemmings up in the air that time. Porter Latin goes flying, turns it over. Hemming steps into one. That one too strong. Miller can't grab the board. Instead, here come the Red Knights, 2-on-1. Pass up the 3, spin move into the lane. Once again, it's Jameer Jacob on the low block, his second bucket, give him 4, and the lead's at 14. 4:35 left here in the second. Perez, a 3. Red Knights dribble handoff, that time too strong by Rosario. Muhls have got to get something figured out here. Miller driving, steps into one, gets it to roll. Josh Miller, his first bucket. Nice little pull-up jumper there from about 14. Now the Muhls just down by a dozen. Jones working through that screen. Now has to fight his way back here. That pass in close. Ball still loose on the floor. Still kicking around. Armstrong going after it. And I think we might have a travel here on Portalatin or an out of bounds. Either way, it's a turnover. And it belongs to the Berg. Armstrong will have Jones draped on him. Go man-to-man up the court here. Perez trying to rip through. And his pass knocked away. It'll be out of bounds. It'll still belong to the Muhls. Perez an excellent passer, but this time maybe telegraphing where he's going a bit, and Redding jumping all over it. Perez setting a screen for Hemmings. Get the switch. Perez will be thinking 3 from that corner, lines it up. That one, nothing but net, but in the wrong way. He'll hear about it from the Reading fans. That one nearly stripped away. Jones comes down with it, flings it cross court. Jameer Jacob with 6, and the lead's at 14 again. Armstrong trying to find some space. We're going to have a block here on the floor. Hutchinson will make his way back in. Jameer Jacob called for his second personal, I believe. Malave drives in with the left. Floater too strong. Off the backboard and nothing much more. Spinning, floater, in and out. And we're going to have a foul here on the floor on DeCastro. And man, that's an unfortunate foul for him because that is number 3. Talked about how the Muhls were able to come back the last time that they played Reading. Down by 10 at the break. Came back on a big stretch to open the third, and a large part of that was DeCastro with 3 fouls. And I think head coach Matt Flowers maybe wanting to check on the number of fouls. Muhls no fouls to give. I think he also wants to see how many Reading has at the moment. And they're going to end up sending everyone to their respective benches until they get it figured out. Seems that maybe the Muhlenberg bench, their assistant coaching staff, maybe having a different foul count. Usually coaches will keep that on the bench. Double check with the book at the table to ensure that everything's correct. And you also have multiple books at the table. You have the Reading book, you have the Muhlenberg book. They're checking the home book first. And yeah, usually when you have a little confusion there as to how many fouls are adding up, you compare the books compared to what you have, compare with the referees, and try to get everything straightened out here.
This is taking a minute.
It sure is. Because honest to God, I don't necessarily keep track of fouls by quarter. when I keep track of them, it's just total fouls on my score sheet. So I got nothing. I think he was also looking, that's exactly what he was looking at. It was the same thing that I marked off on mine as well. It might have been with just how many fouls were on a particular player as well. Still be Muhlenberg basketball. All inbound to Armstrong. Reading coming in winners of 4 of their last 5. Beat Twin Valley by 53 to start off this stretch, as we'll have a foul on the floor. Foul's going to be on Merriweather, his second. Yeah, beat them by 53 at home. Then they beat Weiser by 22 on the road, beat Daniel Boone by 35. Lost to Springford at a showcase, but then came back to beat Central Bucks West just 3 days ago, 65-55 in non-league play. Armstrong, left corner 3. Won't get it done. Hutchinson going after it. He procures the offensive rebound. It's out of bounds. Stays with the Mules. 2 more tough games coming up for the Red Knights as well. They play Berks Catholic in 5 days after this, trying to knock the Saints from their pedestal. Or as they say on the IT crowd, pedal stool.
Nice terminology. I like pedestal.
I figured that you'd like the British sitcom humor of the IT crowd, the pedal stool.
Yeah. I'm a bit of an Anglophile.
Oh, you're not, you liked all the British stuff. Well, I had to teach you about Faulty Towers, didn't I?
Yeah,
That's a John Cleese classic.
Sure it is. I've never watched
it.
I watched maybe one episode.
You would enjoy Faulty Towers.
Probably.
Very slapsticky, classic John Cleese. Anyway,
all the stuff that I like.
Pedal stool.
Humor,
getting back,
all that, right?
Getting back to their final schedule, they play Berks Catholic on the 27th. Try to knock them off their pedal stool. Then at Wilson on the 30th before following up against Governor Mifflin in their final game of the year. That looks like Malave just willing that one into existence. The Mules up to 20. The lead's at 12. Meanwhile, the Mules on a 5-game winning streak. Their last loss coming to York Suburban all the way back in 2025, the year of our Lord. And we're going to have a travel call. Just 7 points here for the Mules in the second. 11 for the Red Knights as well. Both teams coming down off that high from the first couple of minutes. And we're going to have a foul on the floor. It'll be Josh Miller.
His second or third?
That'll be his second. That's all I had for him. But it reads 3 on the board. But that was also where Mikey Miller's number was positioned. So I'm curious if it just carried over.
So Mikey hasn't gotten his 4.
Potentially not. Jacob, first trip to the stripe, hits the first. But yeah, quite a stretch here. If you remove that, they haven't had a loss since our first broadcast of the year against Berks Catholic. All the way. Yeah, what an honor to bring that. They're one of their only losses of the year. Their only Berks County loss of the year, coming all the way back on the 19th as Jacob hits both. And we're going to have a foul here on Jacob at the other end. That'll be number 3.
We have a Mule BC game coming next week, don't we?
BC on the docket again here for the Mules.
spoke to AD over there, Bill Hess. Bill has always been really good to us, getting us into his gym.
Well, actually, let me double check that. Once again, D3 Hoops doesn't have it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's Hutchinson to the line. Missed both his first time up. Hits the first. There's only one place to go when you need the actual schedule. That's just going on the website itself.
Nice.
They do have that one scheduled for the 29th, supposedly, rescheduled from the 30th. That's
Yes.
right, because we did go over that they had to reschedule it.
Yep. Because we had it as the 30th, and Bill Hess disabused me of the notion that it was on the 30th.
They go Reading, Twin Valley, Berks Catholic, Wilson to finish, do the Mules. But first, they have to get past the Red Knights. Armstrong thought he had it. Stepped in front of Portalatin there. 1:09 left here in the first half. Red Knights up by 14, tying their largest of the game. So things have settled down here in the second quarter. Reading may look to just hold for one.
Last time you said that.
Yeah, I know what I said. Now the Mules will come out and press a little bit more. And a foul. Foul's on Armstrong. That'll be his second. Foul's on the floor, but doesn't matter. We're in the bonus. Shooting two. So Rosario will go back to the charity stripe. Rosario hitting about 2/3 of his attempts from the stripe, hits the first. His first trip to get freebies here this evening extends the Reading lead to 15 for the first time. Rosario, one of the lone seniors on this roster, averaging 13 a game. Gets number 2. He currently has 10 as Miller, there's a foul on the floor. Once again, doesn't matter. Rosario called for the personal. So Miller to the stripe. Rattles in the first. Mikey Miller can't tell if he's been to the free throw line. Stats not showing here once again on PEA D3 Hoops.
Saw Josh's mom working the concession stand. And I asked her, what number's Josh wearing tonight? We were apparently calling him by somebody else's name because they had a messed up number in the system.
Well, that would do it.
Games ago.
2v1 at the other end. Counted in one. Hutchinson asking what I do. Count it. And one. The hoop and the harm. So once again, that was Merriweather. He's been quiet here in the second. He had 2 threes after being inserted early in the first. He has 8 looking for 9. Won't get it there. Malave on the move. 16-point lead now. Jones coming up with a strip that time. Tosses it ahead. 3v2. 3 by Merriweather. In and out. Put-back attempt. That one's short. Another offensive board. That one thrown up into the air. Nothing there. Hutchinson with a block. Another strip. Ball down on the floor. The Mules coming up with it. Malave finally coming out. And it won't matter all that much because now the time has expired. The Mules prevent another bucket there at the end. A little cardiac kids action there.
They literally got 4 shots, or was it 5?
4 shots, a block. Well, it was, what, a couple of misses, got a block in there, a strip. Yeah, it's a hot mess. I think I called most of it. But the Mules, 11 points there in the second, outscored by the Red Knights once again. As the Red Knights pouring in 17 in the second and lead 40-24 at the break. It's a steep hill here for the Mules to climb at their home court. But we'll have that for you when we return right here on the Mules Sports Network.
You're watching the Muhls Sports Network on Jerry Gallup Media.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Teams coming back out on the court here for the second half. One thing I forgot to mention here in the first was if you're looking for great food, cold drinks, and good times in Berks County, go to Birdie's Inn in Exeter Township, quenching thirst and filling bellies for over 180 years. Is that true?
In one form or another, it actually started out, it has not been continuous, but it has been a tavern since about 1830.
So George Washington wasn't there, but
not quite.
Maybe like
James
William
Madison
Henry
may have
Harrison.
been.
Yeah, William Henry Harrison strolling through town.
Harrison Ford, who knows? But yeah, it's not been continuous, but it's been a tavern since like 1830.
So the zoning hasn't needed to change use over.
The great thing is they have a shyster lawyer who can take care of all of that. Owner John.
180 years of pre-existing non-conforming use. If you're into municipal fun, that joke's for you. If not, we'll just keep moving along here. Sink your teeth into the best burgers in Berks. This is what happens when you get a council president on here. It's all I know, man. Hand-pressed, made to order, and paired perfectly with local drafts and mixed drinks. Whether you're craving hot wings every night, a hearty kielbasa cheesesteak, or fresh soups and salads, they have a menu that keeps you coming back. This week's grilled cheese special is taco grilled cheese.
Doesn't that sound amazing?
It sure does.
I might be heading there tomorrow night for that.
You can also check out weekly live music and entertainment on the spacious cover deck all year long. This week you have music with One.
It's a great name, simple.
It's like Prince.
Yeah, okay.
It's just one word. It's like Prince or Rihanna or Sia.
Cher.
Yeah, Cher. There you go. And then Saturday, good American name here, Brian Good and Basement. I'm assuming that Basement is the name of his band.
Yes, and the Birdies website.
I don't think Birdies. Does Birdies have a basement? I'm sure it does.
Oh, sure it does.
I'm sure it's old and dusty.
It's cool. I believe it's where they keep the the beer down there.
It's probably like an OG dirt basement.
Probably, and like up at the Yingling Brewery,
Mm-hmm.
they have
use
those caverns
the cave,
where
yeah.
Yeah, same type of thing. I'm sure.
Hey, don't forget about the late night menu Friday and Saturday night from 9 to 11, plus playoff football on one of the 38 TVs at Birdie's. Do they just have all 38 showing the same game?
No,
maybe for the
have,
Super Bowl.
No, they have the NFL ticket, and you can watch any game that's on.
Well, there's only one game on at a time these days, so
These days, but
that's
during the season.
That's Birdie's Inn. If you want it in surround sound and have 38 TVs surrounding you with the same football game on, go to Birdie's, 160 Old Friedensburg Road, 5 Points in Exeter. Have fun, be kind.
We love that place, man. We love that place.
As we get started here, just taking a peek at things. Malave with 8, Mikey Miller with 8 of the Mules' first 10. But I think the biggest portion of this contest that we're missing, the Mules get 30 points a game from Eli Hemmings and also from Armstrong, and they have combined for just 2 points here in the first half. We're looking to get them started immediately. Hemmings with the ball in his hands to start. Miller, pump fake, driving, kicks, Collado. Won't get the roll, dumps it out to Hemmings. Now Armstrong, dead ahead 3, that one too strong. Jones comes up with it up ahead. And they'll wait for Armstrong to pass. And it's DeCastro. He's been uncharacteristically quiet as well. He has 8. But yeah, the 2 points combined for Hemmings and Armstrong, that'll do it. Malave and Mikey Miller both with 8 again. Ryan Hutchinson with 1, Josh Miller with 4. And those are all your scores for the Mules. Mikey Miller, that one I think that DeCastro might have gotten a piece of it. Collado ties him up. Stays with the Red Knights. But will give possession back to the Mules on the next tie-up. Hemmings averages 16.4 points. Armstrong at 13.5. Averaging about 9 made buckets between the two of them, just 1 in the opening 16 minutes. Now 17 minutes. Jones has a good matchup here against Collado. He's trying to get him to move. I think he wants almost one-on-one as he now drives, dumps, and we're going to have a foul here on the floor as Armstrong and I believe DeCastro. Oh, no, it's Portalatin going after it. Armstrong, that'll be his 3rd. Him and Mikey Miller in foul trouble. Miller with 4. Thinking 3. And we're going to have a block, I believe, called on Mikey Miller. Man, oh man. Miller's going to go. Miller's night ends here with 6:41 left in the 3rd. So he draws foul number 5. Matt Flowers asking for what more that Mikey Miller needs to do. And honestly, if you're Mikey Miller, the answer is probably just fall over. Take the charge, set your feet. Like, I understand that you're big and strong, but if you just stand there and you get run into and the other player flops, you know, who gets called for the foul? The answer in this case, it's Mikey Miller. That'll be number 5. Miller still kind of standing around. They're looking to shoot these free throws. I'd be curious if we're going to have some sort of delay of game. So we're just all kind of standing around. Trying to drag these teams back out onto the court here. Josh Miller will take the place of Mikey. Again, Mikey, 8 of the first 10 Muhlenberg points. First won't go for Rosario.
Coach Rob Flowers called it, Ryan, at halftime. He said put him in there, let him do his damage.
Well, he did his damage. About $1.19 in. Second one good. Rosario with 11. Malave dumps it to Collado. Collado on the low block gets his first bucket. That one picked off again by Malave. Malave that time has his pass intercepted as Portalatin steps in front of one. Jones and Armstrong will get tangled. Hemmings drawn all the way out here, facing Rosario. $17-point lead here as Jones, big Euro step into the lane, unfinished business for him with the left. Now Armstrong driving, has it stripped into the arms of Jones, who's out of bounds. And we're going to have, I believe, a Reading timeout as Rick Perez will look to take a 30-second variety. Will be a 30-second timeout. 5:42 left here in the third. 43-26. Reading on top. Muhls showing a little bit of fight, but, if you're Malave, hey, you do one good thing. Can't turn the ball back over again. I know that they're trying to get this team fired up a little bit and give them a little bit of zip here on the offensive end of things, which they need. They need a jolt of energy here. You're just 24 points in the first. Reading a bit slow coming out of the timeout. Armstrong will take the three. Reading slow out of their own timeout. Instead, answer at the other end as Rosario lays it in. 3v3, Armstrong trying to draw some contact and does against Cam Jones. Cam Jones has played a remarkably clean game so far, especially on the defensive end, and finally called for a personal. That'll be his second. Doesn't have a point, does Cam? Sorry, Braun. Armstrong to the stripe.
So, Ryan, keeping to what our buddy Mike Boyer has told us.
Mike Boyer.
Yes.
What does Mr. Hill School have to say?
He has told us before that you don't pull an upset. You build an upset. And he has said the same thing about coming back from behind. You build it. Muhls need to build.
1 of 2 for Armstrong, now up to 4 points. Jones hits the brakes against Miller, nearly sends him flying backwards. You can see Miller kind of on his heels a bit as Jones spins, kicks. Colado gets to sag off a little bit as Jacob no threat from the corner. And Colado knows it. Hemmings now drawn to Jones. Under 5 minutes to play here in the third. Here the Muhls looking to get this back to a one-possession game along the next 4:40 or so, as Rosario goes back to the stripe for the third time. Second foul here for the Muhls as Colado picks up his first. If you're Coach Matt Flowers, I think part of the problem here is that there's maybe just not quite enough firepower off the bench here as Rosario misses the first half. You have Jaden Perez, who didn't provide the spark he normally does in the first. We'll see if he rolls out here for the second. Ryan Hutchinson, not known for his offensive prowess. And Miller hanging up in the air, and I think that we have an issue with the scoreboard potentially here. I don't think that an extra point was added. I think they might have subtracted one, actually. The lead now at 14 up on the board.
It was 45-30 before.
Pretty sure they accidentally subtracted a point. Let's go back to the drawing board here. I can tell you that Reading had 40 at the break. They have 2 buckets plus 2 at the stripe here, so it should be 46.
So took one away instead of adding.
It should be 46. On both sides using their erasers. That's not good.
Yell down, Ryan. Tell him.
It's a made basket by DeCastro. It's a made basket by Rosario. 1 of 2 by Rosario at the stripe. See, this is why I keep my own book, by the way. It's not easy to do this, trying to call and keep your own book, keep your own stats. Do it during football. Baseball's a lot easier because it's a lot slower paced.
Mm-hmm. Back in
there
the
you
day,
go, 46-30.
Back in the day when we used to do Exeter wrestling broadcasts, all the time Mike Boyer would straighten out the scoring table. They'd turn to him and he'd go, 2.
I only watched one. I was only present for one wrestling match in my life working at Franklin and Marshall. and thankfully never had to do it again. My boss loved wrestling, so he got to do all of the wrestling stuff. Hemmings going mano-a-mano, drives in, gets it. Hanger in the lane will work. And we're going to have a foul here. A turnover by Reading, actually. So the Mules will have it back, now down 14. Collado onto the deck. And Armstrong gets a man up, but can't finish as he slips himself and turns it over. I was working on pivot feet at practice with the 7 and 8-year-olds this week, too.
Also sounds delightful.
They were not into it. Let's put it that way. Look down low. Big hop into the lane by Jacob. And an offensive foul. For Jacob, that should be number 4 for him as well. As now the Red Knights dealing with some foul trouble. Cam Jones with 3, DeCastro with 3. Talk about building comebacks here, Jerry. This is part of it.
Yes, it is.
Get some of these guys in foul trouble, have them play a little bit more tentatively. Now you see Reading come out into a zone look. Armstrong driving, attacking. Hemmings, left corner 3. That one won't go. Jones up ahead as Reading leaking out into transition, and DeCastro, the slam, gives him 10. Armstrong to Hemmings. The soft roll, and Hemmings now with 6. Muhlenberg trying to claw back into it. And look, they have a chance here. Down by 14, you close it to single digits. Anything's possible once you start getting down into there. And not if you allow that. Rosario just playing bully ball on Miller. It takes him to the woodshed. I probably should save some of these euphemisms so I can break them up along the broadcast instead of dumping them all into the same one.
Yeah, you don't reuse them all at once.
Got to keep that the thesaurus fresh when I'm calling these games.
You check that one off, right?
Pretty much.
Okay, so you're not
Can't
using
use it again.
Okay.
I definitely use it all the time, but in and out. Rosario's come alive here for 6. He now has 16. Leads all scorers. Hemmings turnaround from the elbow. Well, the good news is you got Eli Hemmings warming up. The bad news is Reading still leading by 14. Nice job there as Reading trying to sneak another one out. And, Malave gets a foul up here outside the three-point arc. It'll be on Rosario. And I believe for Rosario, that's number 2. Perez will check back in. He will take the place of Hutchinson. Or actually, Hutchinson will stay out, it looks like. Perez will sit back down. It's Malave to the stripe. That was the last foul to give for the Red Knights. So the Mules now enter the bonus. Swish is the first. His first points here of the third, give him 9. Again, you just got to keep working towards the single digits. It's referee time here. And I think that he's going to bring some. Yeah, we're going to check over the scorers table again. So it looks like it might be the home book that may be off. I mean, at some point in time, too, I did have another foul for what it's worth.
Wow. That's impressive.
We got a friendly rivalry here between the cheerleaders. Muhlenberg doing some flips in front of the crowd, and then a Reading cheerleader decides to start at the 3-point line and just do backflips the entire way right across the big Muhlenberg M.
Should have been following that.
I'm all good with this chatter for what it's worth. I think they're just checking fouls. I had Rosario with 3. They're showing 2 up on the board. Now we're all sorts of confused. And I think that may be it. And honest to God, this is why a lot of teams don't even bother with putting the fouls up on the scoreboard, because it becomes a hot mess. It only matters what's in the book. The scoreboard's nice to have and everything, but the fouls, don't always matter up there.
Ryan.
Like I said, I have 3 fouls for Rosario, and it's showing 2 up on the board. I'm curious if that's where the mix-up is. I'll be pleasantly surprised. Now they have the Mules with 4 fouls. I think that might have been part of it. Maybe misattributing a foul to the wrong team.
Ryan, I believe this is a new innovation for Muhlenberg. I remember last year, fouls were not put up.
There are a lot of schools that don't bother with the board because it's an extra step. Now, when you're doing like a college game, I will say the scoreboard is usually integrated with your scoring system that you're using.
Right.
So all of the player stuff that happens up on the board can also be tied into your actual stat keeping.
Automatically.
To a degree. I think that's mostly what it comes down to. It's just misattributing a foul here for Reading. Now we're finally underway. Into Perez. Perez, a 3 off the bench. Coming in cold. Narrows the lead to 11. And I'll tell you what, he didn't have the spark in the first half, but that's kind of what you get out of Jaden Perez. He will flash a little bit of razzle-dazzle, take some quick shots from the outside when you're not prepared, and I'll tell you what, he has a pretty nice soft touch for a big guy. Just didn't quite have it in the first half. That one tipped off of Reading, right into the waiting arms of Armstrong. Armstrong in transition to Hemming. Looking for Armstrong on the low block. That one won't go, and it stays with the Mules. Again, trying to scratch and claw your way back here. Have a chance. 2:03 left in the third. Trying to make it a 1-figure deficit. Malave, the inbound to Hemmings. Hemmings. Foul is going to be on the floor. They'll say it's not a continuation. It doesn't. They won't count the bucket, but it will be 2 at the stripe for Hemmings. They're going to say the foul, I believe, is on Portalatin. That'll be number 2. So instead, it will send Hemmings to the line. First time he's been there this evening is finally he's starting to come alive, as is Justin Armstrong. That's a large part of what is clawing the Mules back into this game as he hits the first. Second is good. And Reading turnover. Hemmings back and engaged this time. A 9-2 run here by the Mules. Making it a one-figure deficit. Down by 9. Hemmings draws the contact again. Reading and the Mules having separate huddles about 24 inches away from each other. Left just enough room for the Holy Ghost there.
Ryan, we've got a 49-46 score. Wilson in front of Exeter with 1:13 left.
Oh, look at that. Forgot that we're going on out there, too.
Yep.
Darren on the call there. Hemmings. Yes, sir, on the first. So, yeah, 9-2 run or an 8-0 run, however you want to slice it here. Or 10-2 run, sorry. Hemmings leaves that one short. Put back attempt, no good. Hemmings tries to tip it up to himself, and he's fouled again. Hemmings with 2 at the line again. Welcome back to the contest, Eli Hemmings.
What'd you say about getting it down to single digit?
Now down to 8. It's the first.
7.
Nine 0 run. There's a kid down there, can't be older than like 11 or 12, chirping with fans. Love it. Hemmings, 5 of 6 from the stripe here in the third. Lead is at 6. Have ourselves a ball game, boys. Like I said, now you got Hemmings engaged. Jones tips it baseline, nearly has it poked away by Hemmings. Look down on the low block. Collado spikes it into the ground. It'll stay with the Red Knights, but no doubt about that. That one a volleyball spike.
Yes, it was.
Jones will take the inbound with 1:22 left here in the third. Look into the corner. Nothing there. They'll step into one. That one's short by Jacob. It's a 2-possession game, if you can believe it. Hutchinson, a 3. Hemmings trying to go after it. They're going to call a jump ball here, and if it wasn't, Hemmings had all ball. Jones falls to the floor. It stays with the Mules. Perez back into the game with 1:08 left. Adds another scoring option outside for Collado, who will take a seat on the bench. They try to get it into Hutchinson. It's stripped away. 3-on-1. DeCastro making magic happen with the left. He now has 6 in the quarter, 12 in the contest. Leads back to 8. If you're the Mules, no turnovers this time around as Armstrong trying to step into one. No foul called on the shot. 36 seconds left. Rosario wants Malave. 25 seconds left. Almost got the switch that he was hoping for. Instead, now you have Hutchinson on Jones. Hutchinson picks the pocket of Jones. 13 seconds remaining here in the third. Ahead to Hemmings. Hemmings with the spin. Hemmings, no foul called. Hutchinson saves it. Into the smallest kid on the court, Armstrong, and he makes it happen. Gets to the stripe for the second time. And I believe it's on Rosario. That's number 4 on him. Foul trouble abound as Portalatin with 3. Jacob with 4. Rosario with 4. DeCastro with 3. Jones with 3. Merriweather with 2. Portalatin with 3. And Armstrong misses the first. Collado will check back in. Obviously, Miller out of the contest here with 5. Get the spirit fingers here from the Muhls. It's Armstrong, 1 of 2. Lead is at 7. 1 second left. You're going to have to fire it up. Won't go. How about that from the Muhls? Muhls showing a little bit of life here in the third. That's exactly what they needed to do while they were out here. 21 points in the stanza. They hold Reading to just a dozen in the third. 1 minute up on the board. We'll take a quick break and be right back as the Muhls have done what they needed to do. They've closed the gap. Now they'll look to close it even more when we return on the Muhls Sports Network. Welcome back. 52-45 after 3 quarters of play. Coming in for a landing, Jerry.
It's been a very exciting game.
The Red Knights leading as many as 18, 19 points. The Muhls holding Reading just 2 players. One of the remarkable things about the Red Knights, in the first quarter they had 6 players score. In the second quarter they had 5 players score. In the third quarter, just 2. DeCastro and Rosario, the only 2-point scorers for the Red Knights. So they put the clamps on everybody else that quarter. Meanwhile, Eli Hemmings, 11 in the third. Welcome to the contest. He now has 13. And Hemmings coming alive has also helped the Muhls stave off the worst of Reading's output here in the third. Reading sloppy, trying to probe here. Jones from his keister. They fling it around onto the low block, and Collado will be called for his second. Good foul by Collado. The only thing that you know when you get these two teams together is that it's going to be spicy.
Spicy. Have Claude look up what spicy means.
I don't need Claude to do that for me. We'll send Jameer Jacob back to the stripe. Jacob with 8, scoreless in the fourth. Remain here at 7:15 left in the fourth. Now you get some of the boo birds out. A 3-point victory for Muhlenberg, 71-68 back on December the 11th. It's 1 of 2 for Jacob. He now has 9. Last year it was Reading exploding for 88 points against the Muhls, taking an 8-point victory. Perez, a 3! Leads at 5. The big fella from the corner. Like I said, that is what Jaden Perez gives you, as now Rick Perez needing to take a timeout.
Full.
It'll be a full timeout. Here go the Mules cheerleaders as they'll go dueling cheerleaders, and now they may send, I think they're sending one to the other end to potentially videotape. I'm just giving the fans what they want here.
Oh, okay.
This is quite entertaining, honestly, as the Reading cheerleader blows kisses to the Mules fans.
Let's give birdies what they want.
If you're looking for blown kisses, John probably won't do that for you at Birdie's, but they will have great food, cold drinks, and good times in Berks.
Do not discount what John will do.
Quenching thirst and filling bellies for over 180 years. They have the best burgers, pressed, hand-pressed, made to order, paired perfectly with local drafts and mixed drinks. So if you're looking for wings, kielbasa cheesesteaks, soups, salads, whatever you want, they have taco grilled cheese this week. Plus, live music and entertainment on the spacious covered deck all year long, including when you're piled under 18 to 24 inches of snow. Friday, music with One. And then Saturday, Brian Good and Basement. Don't forget the late night menu Friday and Saturday night from 9 to 11, plus playoff football on one of the 38 TVs that Birdie's has to offer. Birdie's in 160 Old Friedensburg Road in 5 Points in Exeter. Have fun, be kind. Mules big defense on one end. Perez trying to clear some space. Looks down low for Hutchinson, who lays it in. And we're going to have a technical foul on Hutchinson. He goes over, apologizes to Matt Flowers right away. Goes over, tries to plead his case to the referee who called the technical. It'll send DeCastro to the line. Anyway, back in 2024, DeCastro makes the first. Now when you saw a 12-point victory by Muhlenberg back on December the 12th of 2024. They lost by 12 back in February. Dominated the late season matchup, did Reading 83-46. But the time before that, Muhlenberg 87, Reading 74 in a double overtime game. Basically just splitting across the board. It's both at the line. So it is a 5-point advantage once again. Reading basketball on top of that. Basically nullifies Ryan Hutchinson's layup. Nice job by him. And an even better job by Malave. Him and Collado down on the low block causing some problems. Perez has it stripped away. DeCastro comes and picks his pocket. 2-on-1. DeCastro. Offensive foul called on Castro. DeCastro. Oh, no. And a tough foul for him because that's number 4. Three players with 4 fouls for the Red Knights. A 5-point margin and 5:56 up on the board. This is going to be a fun ending, folks. Armstrong for 3. Jacob the board. Up ahead. Up to Jones. Jones against Perez. Perez will be called for the personal. Cam Jones has not been active at all, at least from a scoring perspective this evening. Averages 7 points, has none so far. This even his first trip to the line. Jones, a 71.4% free throw shooter on the year. Rattles home the first. Jones, just a sophomore, playing well above his years. It's both. Lead is at 7. Muhls have done so much to come back in this contest. To strive really hard to not let all of that hard work slip away right here. Looking to get Hemmings started. Hemmings, a 3. Hutchinson trying to tip it up to himself. Instead, he'll be the culprit of knocking it out of bounds. Tough contested shot there by Hemmings, trying to make something happen. Maybe settling for that outside shot. Hemmings will be locked onto Rosario. While Hutchinson deals with Jones. Jones with the left. Floater won't go. Offensive board again by the Red Knights. Hutchinson, I think, got a piece of that one. Up and under won't go. Ball finally stripped away by Malave. Malave up ahead, 3-on-2. Hemmings with the left, can't finish. Jones ahead to DiRosario. Has that one stripped by Hutchinson. Now down to the low block. Little fella, Merriweather, won't get the friendly roll. Armstrong is going to have to pull it back here. And does. 4:18 left in the fourth. Gets a little bit of daylight, hands it off. Hutchinson can't finish again. Hutchinson called for the personal. That is the Muhls' 4th and his 3rd. Last foul to give for the Muhls. 4:11 left in the fourth. Full court pressure here. Quickly breaking that press. Hutchinson leaning on the back. Rosario getting the roll. Rosario with 18. With a few seniors shooting above his average. That one off the mark by Malave. Armstrong going for the strip, won't get it. Up ahead, DiRosario fouled by Perez, and no, they should not count that at all. We'll see the referees. No basket. No basket. Could have had an and one. Instead, it'll be 2 at the line. Perez called for his 3rd. DiRosario, his 3rd trip to the stripe. The lead has swelled back to 10. And Matt Flowers will take a timeout here. Make DiRosario think about that second one and take a full timeout. 3:44 left here in the fourth. It has been a game of runs so far. Reading High finished on a 12-1 stretch to round out the first quarter that gave them a 10-point advantage going into the second. Able to extend that to 16 at the break. Muhls made it 7 coming in here to the fourth. It's now back up to 10.
3:44.
At the Reading side, chanting "We can't hear you" over to the Muhls. think that 12-year-old down there is still hyped to go toe-to-toe with somebody, though. He's still shaking his hands.
He's a tough guy. He's ready.
So here we go. One more at the line for DeCastro. Castro, 5 in the first, 1 in the second, 6 in the third. Now 3 looking for 4 at the charity stripe. Extend this lead back to 11. Redding not concerned about the rebound there as he makes 2 of 2. Leads back to 11. Driving, Malave can't finish, but will go back to the line. His third time there this evening. He is 9, looking to crack double digits. Gets the first. Can also move this lead back to just 9 with a made one here with 3:33 left. Malave rattles it in. Not known for being a great free throw shooter. Not too bad here this evening. Taking 4 of his 6 attempts. And whoops. Jacob not prepared for that pass even in the slightest, and he'll have some words about it. As Rosario was looking his direction, and he kind of does a what? That was for me? Lead is 9. Malave going up against his former team again. Wants this one. On one-on-one, kicks. Armstrong to 3! His second of the game. The lead back to 6 from 9. Miller giving chase to Merriweather. He'll have to pull it back out. A 2-possession game with 2:40 left to play. And I believe Hemmings will be called for the personal here on the floor, and it's not going to matter because they're already in the bonus. There'll be 2 at the line. Hemmings, I believe, just his second. Came alive in that third. Does not have a point here in the fourth so far. $11 points in that third quarter. None here in the fourth. Is the first one. Rattles home. Rosario making trip number 5 to the stripe. Gets both. He now has 20. Into the corner, Miller a 3. Muhls could really utilize a stop here, down by 8. Hemmings and Di Rosario, the team's leading scorers, locked onto each other here. Di Rosario wants Hemmings. We're going to have a travel by Di Rosario. Or sorry, by DeCastro. I'm conflating Rosario and DeCastro together. DeCastro, my apologies, called for the travel. Stops the clock with 2 minutes left. 3-possession game. Coming out in kind of this zone defense, and Perez not looking for it. Nearly hits a cheerleader. Nearly had a Brady Bunch accident that time. Jan almost broke her nose again. Or Marsha almost broke her nose.
That was Marsha.
Marsha broke her nose and was a football on the AstroTurf.
In the library.
Miller called for the personal, trying to poke it away.
With the candlestick.
Oh, my nose. Rosario. May as well just pull up a cot and sleep at the line. Hits the first. Trip number 6. He's going to get some frequent flyer miles. .21 for the senior. His career high, by the way, is 28. He's made his last 4. Lead back to 10. Miller down low to Hemmings. Hemmings will lay it in. Matt Flowers will take a full timeout. 1:35 left here in the fourth.
Well, breather?
No.
Okay.
Well, I need a breather for.
Because you were doing with 8-year-olds earlier?
You know what? I enjoy coaching during games a lot more because it's a lot more interactive with the players, trying to get them to. I mean, the kids are a hoot. You know, I have kids chucking up shots from it that they have no business chucking, which is always fun. You know, my daughter wants to shoot every time she touches the basketball.
That's just like Isaiah Thomas.
She's let me tell you, though, she's a tenacious rebounder. She goes after everything.
Yeah, knowing your wife, that makes sense.
Hair on fire, that kid. But this coming in feeling eerily reminiscent to the Wilson game, which I'm sure that will be mentioned here. A comeback victory at Reading, an overtime thriller at Wilson. Rallied down from 6 with under 2 minutes to play. Right now they need to rally from 8 with under 2 to play.
Right.
Same, but different, as we would tell my daughter. Little backcourt razzle-dazzle that time along the baseline helps him get it inbounded. And we're going to have a foul here, either on Hutchinson or on Armstrong. It'll be on Armstrong. That'll be number 4. Back to it goes Rosario. And man, you want to talk about sealing games away. Just one bucket from the field here for the Red Knights in the fourth quarter. One single bucket from the field. Everything else has been from the stripe. And they've missed just one free throw here the entire fourth quarter. And continues to hold. They are 13 of 14 from the line here in the fourth. You want to talk about a determining factor. That's certainly one of them. Not very often that you get to see this type of offensive output from a team. And that one tipped, thrown ahead to Castro. That'll just about do it. We're going to have a foul here as Khalik Weaver into the game, trying to save some fouls for the remainder of this roster. And we got Cam Jones chirping with the Muhlenberg crowd a little bit. Looking down low for Hemmings. Hemmings will square up, get it and one. Muhls not dead yet, but certainly on life support. That'll be on Merriweather, and that's number 4 on him. Surprisingly, that was Reading's last foul to give. Muhls have been a little handsy trying to get back into this contest. Hemmings with the miss, grabs his own board, and he'll go back to the stripe. Yeah, that'll work. And for Merriweather, that's number 5. Referee's trying to get Coach Perez to make the swap here. So Weaver will re-enter for Merriweather. Merriweather came out hot shooting to start. Had a couple of threes in the first. Had a bucket in the second. He'll finish with 8. Hemmings looking for 2. Got the first. Hemmings got it figured out, basically right on his average here. It's both. Never a little snafu, the yips, as you would say, that he had for a couple of contests have largely straightened themselves out. He was 1 of 8 against Daniel Boone, 5 of 14 against Wilson from the stripe. And the Muhls turning it over. It's Malave and Armstrong chirping with each other, down 8. They'll throw it all the way ahead. Big outlet pass, and that wasn't a travel. I don't know what was, and I think that we're going to have an out-of-bounds call here on Jameer Jacob. Jacob, worse for wear as he gets slammed to the hardwood. And they'll come check on him. I mean, we're still not done yet. We got a minute left. But let me tell you, Reading, again, you look at how they've finished this contest, 2 buckets from the field. 6 attempts, 6 trips to the line, where they're 2 of 2. And then just Jameer Jacob, 1 of 2 from his attempt. That's the only one that they've missed. You're going to close out a game. Reading putting on a masterclass right now.
That's how you do it, right?
Reading as a whole, roughly a 70% free throw shooting team. In case you're wondering, 13 out of 14 is about a 93% clip.
That's all.
Oh, that's all.
Clearly a
If they were
slacker.
on their average, they would have only made about 10 of 14. And it would be a 5-point contest as a result. And I believe Cam Jones called for the foul. Rick Perez doesn't like that one. Cam Jones, a solid, 60 feet away from the basket. We'll send Malave to the line. Malave hit both earlier this quarter. Misses the first. Still an 8-point game, 59 seconds left. And I believe that we may have a lane violation. And it's going to be on the Mules. So don't count the second one, even if he had made it either. Jones will inbound. Reading will scoot it ahead. 10 seconds dripping off the clock. Hemmings called for the personal. Reading back to the line. Well, they were 7 of 9 in the second quarter from the stripe. Wesley Rosario struggled from the line right on cue here. Just their second miss here of the fourth. Rosario went 2 of 5 in the third and misses both. Armstrong ahead to Hemmings. Hemmings will lay it in. Now a 6-point game with 40.7 seconds left. Back to a 2-possession game. Rob Flowers will take a full timeout. Can't go home with him.
Matt Flowers.
Sorry, Matt Flowers.
You were looking at Rob.
I was looking at Rob. He's right next to us. Last timeout for the Mules. Again, a 6-point game. So we are not done. Rosario missing both there at the stripe. Kind of a big to-do. They were 9 of 14 coming into the fourth here. Now 3 misses. Yeah, Reading 13 of their first 14.
Hey, look down there, Ryan. A Ted Cruz jersey.
Is that an Astros jersey?
Nah, it said Reading on the front. Must be a Reading player named Cruz. I thought you'd enjoy the reference.
I didn't, because never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
I do not like that man, Ted Cruz. Foul here by Armstrong. I believe that's number 5. Just running out of fouls to give. Armstrong will check out. That'll end his evening. He finishes with 8. All coming here in the second half as he was scoreless in the first. His evening will conclude. He'll sit alongside Mikey Miller, who also finished with 8. He fouled out early in the third. What a different contest this might be. If. And only if. I mean, there's 5s up on the board there for fouls. 4 Reading players have 4 fouls. Now Rosario has 4. DeCastro has 4. Jameer Jacob has 4.
Lina Weaver has 3.
If I was playing, I probably would have at least 3 fouls. First one's good by DeCastro. He's made his first 5 of the fourth. Now he's made all 6. Malave and to Miller. Miller thinking 3. They have everyone basically perched around the arc. Perez, a 3! Jaden Perez, his third 3. Give him 9. Hemmings called for the foul. That'll be his 4th. Still not out of it. It's a 5-point game. 2 at the line. 20.8 seconds left. Rosario hit his first 6. Missed his last 2. Drains the first. Reading not even bothering rebounding. Rosario back on the wagon. 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Miller, a 3. A little too strong. Hemmings, the board, lays it back in. Hemmings now has 10 in the quarter, and I believe called for his 5th. Well, it'll be on Hutchinson, actually. For Hutchinson, I believe that is number 4. Cam Jones, 2 of 2. Won't be completely iced. It's still a 5-point game. Even 1 of 2 still gives the Mules some life. Misses the first. (9:47 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now.
Indeed it is.
Jones again about a 71.4% free throw shooter.
Eight-minute
Misses.
quarters gives you a 2-hour and 15-minute game.
Something like that. He missed both at the stripe. So I believe that was off a technical foul that was called. And it would likely be for Hutchinson, who steps off the court, because that counts as a personal as well. They'll inbound it. Malave called. And Malave doesn't have many fouls. Not a whole lot of people looking to beat the traffic, but there is a very large contingency of people right around the doors looking to make their grand escape. Pull a Steve McQueen. It's the great escape.
Nice try.
First one no good by DeCastro. No timeouts left here for the Mules. Second one is good. Ahead to Miller. Miller to Perez. Perez a 3. Too strong. Collado won't even bother with the rebound, and that'll do it. 74-68, your final score. As the Red Knights take this one, a 6-point advantage. I'll have to try to separate these teams as they greet each other here at midcourt. And here we go. Mikey Miller has to be separated. Collado needs to be separated. They're just trying to drag kids off the floor. I mean, part of it started with Eli Hemmings having some exception to DeCastro with the basketball after the after the fourth. Mikey Miller still shouting things running into the locker room. Got some parents shouting. I think we have some staff shouting. Reading still here at midcourt. And honest to God, they just got to get in the locker room. And you can see that there are certainly some people indicating that that's what they're trying to have them do, just trying to escort them, get them into the locker room. They still have to make their way past. A lot of the Muhlenberg crowd has left here. Got Coach Matt Flowers yelling at students not to do anything, please. Always something, Jerry.
Always something as well.
You could feel it bubbling over a little bit. You could see a little bit after the whistle here, and then trying to make the two teams try to shake hands after something like that is just...
You can let it go.
I'm pretty sure in this circumstance, and we've been at games where they're just like, don't have them shake hands.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't have them shake hands. It's not worth it.
Absolutely have.
This was one of those games.
Guys stand in the middle, no hands. You just go, go, go.
Looks like is that Bill Ulrich down there from the Reading Eagle? I'm sure that he got some great photos afterwards. He's got the long lens on.
Oh yeah.
He actually had a really nice photo the other day in the Reading Eagle, believe it or not. Runner cresting the hill at Hill Road in Wyomissing with the snow and the snow covered. It was actually a really nice shot.
Probably 3 days after, wasn't it? 3 days after it happened.
They'll report about this game sometime on Tuesday, I'm sure.
Reading beat Muhlenberg Thursday night.
74-68. Man, oh man. Give me a quick second to tally all this stuff up. And now that the excitement has largely subsided here, we will be right back here with some final stats and final thoughts right here on the Muhls Sports Network. Oh, boy. 74-68. Reading taking this one on the road. Not a bad job by them coming into a really, really tough gym to pick up a victory, especially against a Muhlenberg team that had just 3 losses, just 1 in Berks play, and it was here to Berks Catholic. They asked to please exit said gymnasium, and we will do the same here in just a hot second. The Red Knights led by a pair of 20-point scorers. Wesley Rosario, their senior, 26 points for him. Justin DeCastro, right on his average, right on time, 21 points for him. He only had 6 in the first half, came through with 15 in the second. Rosario had 16 in the second as well. They struggled in the third, for sure. Just DeCastro and Rosario, 6 points apiece towards their 12 as the Mules were able to claw their way back into it, down by, 16 at the break, able to claw it back to single digits by the start of the fourth, and just so many opportunities for the Red Knights at the line. They finished 18 of 24. They were 13 of 14 at one point in time, but 18 of 24 from the stripe in the fourth. And if you're looking for the difference in this game, it does come down to the free throw line. Muhlenberg 16 to 27 from the stripe. Meanwhile, the Red Knights 27 of 38 from the charity stripe. 11 more attempts, 11 more made, and they end up pulling out this one by 6 in a 74-68 win. Eli Hemmings came alive in the second half, 21 of his 23 coming after the break, as he led all scorers for the Mules, but only one other double-digit scorer. That was Nelson Malave. He finished with 11. He had 8 in the first, just 3 in the second. Armstrong, kind of the reverse thing as well. He had no points in the first half. He had 8 points in the second. Not much going on for him. The same thing going for Jaden Perez. Perez, not much in the first either, coming off the bench, providing a bit of a spark that helped the Mules pull back closer to level. He finished with 9, which was good for second on the team. But a third, tied for third, were 2 players with 8 points, and both of them fouling out, Justin Armstrong and Mikey Miller. Miller, 8 of the first 10 points in the first quarter. He ends up picking up a handful of quick fouls, has 4 by halftime, and picks up his fifth just barely a minute and a half into the second. And talking with Coach Rob Flowers up here, not his brother actually down on the floor coaching basketball, but football coach Rob Flowers saying, hey, I think that you just roll with Mikey Miller in the second. Like, you're already down 16. What the heck does it matter? Like, throw out your best player, see what happens. They did, and he fouled out. So I think that this game probably looks a little bit different if Mikey doesn't end up in foul trouble. I think it looks a little bit different if they're able to draw a handful of, fouls on the Red Knights. Merriweather fouled out for him, but DeCastro ended up with 4 fouls, Rosario with 4 fouls, Jacob with 4 fouls. There were a whole slew of players in foul trouble, and the Mules just unable to really make anything happen, especially in that fourth quarter. Reading 18 to 24 in that stanza. Meanwhile, the Mules 4 of 7. 17 more trips to the charity stripe in that case. 14 more points coming from the free throw line. And that's basically it. The Mules were able to close it to a couple of possessions. No more than 2 possession game. I believe they got it down to 5 and 6 a handful of times, but just unable to finish the job. Mostly just by sending Reading to the line. And credit to the Red Knights. The Red Knights going out there, they're a 70% free throw shooting team. Obviously, this will bear it out a little bit, but, they were hitting 13 to 14 to start, extending that lead and making it really difficult, just putting the Mules in really bad positions all across the fourth quarter. As, like I said, that basically just coming down to it, 18 points in the fourth quarter by the Red Knights, all by ways of the charity stripe, and that is your difference here this evening. Not for nothing, the Mules will be back in action. They're away at Twin Valley, they're away at Berks Catholic, and then host Wilson on the 3rd, and we'll have a handful of those games, I believe, right here for you. All 3 of them. Yep. On the Muhls Sports Network. Mm-hmm. Taking us a little while to get going, but yeah, we got a 3-game week next week, don't we? Yes, we got Muhlenberg girls against Conrad Weiser on Monday. We have Muhlenberg boys at Twin Valley on Tuesday. Something tells me that Monday contest is probably going to get postponed. Even that Tuesday contest might get postponed.
Yeah, I believe they're looking at schools being closed Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah, I would venture a guess that those are going to get pushed. They do have an extra week here as they finish up February the 3rd. Muhlenberg boys, again, playing Wilson there on the 3rd, and obviously that changes a little bit because Berks Catholic, very similar situation. They actually have a whole bunch of games lined up for the back end after all of this is pretty much finished within Berks play, as I pull up their schedule here very quickly, just to compare how much time that there is left a little bit. BCIAA playoffs anticipated to get started around the 9th, so that second week, they're finishing off against Your Country Day, Daniel Boone on the 3rd, Linville Hill Christian on the 4th, and then the playoffs kind of roughly starting there on the 9th. So there's a little bit of space in the coming week to try to cram all of these in, but we'll see where they end up falling, and I'm assuming that we'll be able to bring most of them, if not all, depending how the schedule falls. Who knows?
The snow falls.
Who knows? And how the snow falls. I know that we're prepping for Doomsday in West Reading. Got nowhere to put the snow, man.
We're prepping for Doomsday in Exeter, too, but for a different reason.
You at least have places to go put snow when you scrape it off your roads.
Yeah,
We
there's
have
this thing called the river.
Yeah, nope, can't do that. That's
Sure
an
you can.
EPA thing. Nope, I most certainly
What they
can't.
don't know won't hurt them.
Well, they'll notice a whole lot more water in the river because dumping tonnage in there.
That stuff melts. I don't know if you're aware of it or not. Runs off the banks.
Anyway, this one a 6-point margin of victory for the Red Knights. They will continue to improve their standings here as they move along. Again, a tough schedule for them, rounding out as well. All these schedules kind of, when you're playing Berks 1, not an easy run of things, especially towards the end of it. But for the Red Knights, taking a peek at their schedule really briefly, they improved to 13-5. They have Berks Catholic at Wilson, Governor Mifflin to finish up. And not all that dissimilar from how the Mules are looking as well, as they dropped to 14-4, 7-2 in Berks 1 play, but at Twin Valley against Wilson on the 3rd. So they have a handful of games coming up here. May adjust some things within the district rankings. They were still sitting pretty at 3rd. We'll see where that ends up landing them here. But certainly tough games upcoming for both sides. But yeah, we'll see how many of these we bring to you next week. Snow be darned. Didn't even swear that time, Jerry.
First time for everything.
First time for everything. Anyway, it's 10:04. Go say goodnight to your loved ones, as I've lost that opportunity with how long this game has gone on. But the rest of you, have a great evening. Brave the snow, and we'll see where the games end up falling next week. I make no promises for Monday and Tuesday for sure, but later on in the week, we'll see what we got coming to you.
Stay tuned to social media.
Stay tuned to social media. And with that, I bid adieu. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Jerry. Thank you to the fans for listening in. And thank you to the Mules for always providing excellent broadcast opportunity here in Laureldale. For everyone here in the borough of Laureldale, I'm Ryan Lineweaver. Have a great night.